Hi everyone, it's Leanne. How you going? Look, I've been working on a project for a housewarming gift. This is it here. I'm still working on it. I don't know whether I can get it all in the camera, but I'll try. Here's the front. Hang on a minute. There. There it is. There. Tea and coffees. Now this is a box that was raw timber, wood. And what I have done is I have sprayed 2 coats of undercoat on both sides and inside. And then I've used a beautiful spray paint called American Antique White. And that has given me the top. I'll just turn that around. That's the back. It's the tea company. Okay, so that's what it looks like. And I'll turn it around that way so you can see it better. So what I've done is made this into a housewarming gift for my son and his wife because they have just purchased their first home. And it's a second-hand home, and they've bought it in a place called Whoop Whoop. I've never heard of it before. It's halfway between where I live, in Sydney here, to Gosford. But it's out north, south, east, out west a bit more. So it's northwest. Never heard of it, but it's where they can afford. So I've made this into a tea and coffee caddy, and I'm only halfway finished. I've got teas and coffees on the front there. I've just put that on black cardstock. I've got this beautiful little edging here. It's made up of roses and all that, and I've just edged it. And it's all spray painted. And it's quite a pretty little thing, but I'm only halfway through it. Now I am making another one of them, and I'm going to do it in a faux leather finish as a Christmas present. Now I'm not sure how much that box cost because it was given to me. I'm not sure whether they're that dear. I don't think they're that dear. They're probably under $20 for a box like that. And I used a few spray paints that I had, undercoat and the antique white. So, and I've just used a few embellishments I had. So when I fill that up with some tea and coffee, I'll show it back to you again in a better view and a better angle so you can see the whole lot. So that's going to be a housewarming present for my son and his wife. Now my grandson, who was born on the 1st of June, is going really well and he's cute. I've been doing an album for him, and I might show you a little bit what I've done. It's nothing fancy, it's just a little album prettied up. Now I bought the albums. Now they're very dear to buy, those Life Project books. I got 2 for $4.99 from Aldi's, and even though they're not the colour I want, they're sufficient. You'd still cover the fronts of them if you don't like the design and that. But for $4.99 compared to $100, I think that's very good saving. So what I'm after now is, I showed you those cards in my last videos, how I finished them. I did have 4 more left over, and I thought I'd just finish them up, do something with them, and that's exactly what I've done. Now all I've done is taken some silly little elements that I'm going to use. I am going to gesso the backs of these and the edges again, And this one I've just used some delusional, what are they called? Delusion paints. And I've just made a bit of artwork. Just a bit of swiping here, a dab there, a dot there. And I've used a few different colours. That's quite pretty. Very, very pretty. And all I'm going to do is put some elements on it. And those elements are some trim, some metal that I've flattened like that, and I've put a piece of string through it. Just something of interest that may interest someone who wants to look at the card. I've got some metal paper clips. I got some not Hessian, what's that called? Cheeseclouthy stuff. I've got some other stuff over here. And all we're going to do is to make it into something interesting. Now what I am going to use is the back is to gesso it first. So I'm going to put them all to the side because I do want to gesso it. And I'm going to gesso it black because it's a very nice colour. Sorry about that, the dogs are barking today. Alright, let me just see if I can get a paintbrush. Right. I actually want a sponge. Where's my sponges? I love those little sponges because that one's rock hard. Maybe I can cut it. Too hard to cut. I'm just going to have a look. I can spot my sponge. I found it. Everyone stop looking. Right. How's everyone been? It's been a tumultuous time for me. I'm still working on our old house. We have got the walls up now. I'll take some photos of that. I've had the builder in. He's not a builder, he's a handyman, but he is an electrician, I think, by trade. But he does a lot of building work. And all the walls are up. I think he's doing the architraves and trims now and putting 2 doors in for us. And then we'll be finished the old house. Now I'll show you also what we're doing with a little pot-belly stove we've got. And we're just putting a heat shield around it at the moment for the wall. And we're making that out of corrugated iron. And we're spray painting it black. You ask why? Well, why we're painting it black is because I want it the same colour as a pot-belly. And also it needs a heat shield because we're going to put it right in the corner of a room. And I'll show you that. I'll film that and show you when we do it. And all we're doing is some corrugated iron. And you fix it to something on the wall, I think about 25 mils off the wall to give it some airflow. And oh dear, I've got sticky stuff all over me. Right, hang on, I'll just get my drying tool. And what was I saying? Right, the heat shield. Spray painted white. 25 mils off the wall. and you put it on the wall. Now we're putting it on the wall with you know, those picture rails. Picture rail stuff. Now I'll show you that when we do it, because oh my gosh, I've lost everything here. Terrible. I'll find it again, don't worry. Right, they dry almost. Let me just put that back for a second because I want to show you how I do the edges. So when we put that up, I will film it and show you. Okay, so we've done the back, we're going to do the sides. Now, I just go for it and I just paint the sides up. Get rid of all the white, all the grey in this case, and you just go straight across like that. Cover everything. You want a beautiful little border that shows up on your card as well, front of your card, and that really does it nicely, and that looks really good. We'll do the same for this one. So I will film all of that to show you what the end, you know, you already saw what it looked like at the beginning. There was 2 big old places, and there we got rid of both of them. We're going to keep one, but then I had a brainwave snap and said, let's get rid of both. And then, oops, just put the lid on that. Right, I'm just putting my thing in there. And I am also going to get some wet wipes. I made a mess of myself again. Messy girl. And I will film everything anyway. I haven't filmed for a while because winter started, got cold. None of the builders were working on the place after we finished. And they've all of a sudden just started. So that's why I'm filming some more now. I'll show you the walls. Right, there we go. Now I'm just going to see if that's dry. Feels a bit sticky. Okay, there we go. Now I put my hot gun on again, and as you can see, it makes a huge difference when you do those edges and the borders and that. Really nice. I love the black gesso on the back. But there's our cards, and we're going to just put a few elements on them of interest, just because it's fun. Okay, so once again I had this little wire, copper wire. I just put a piece of string through it, I flattened it, curled it and wound it up and then flattened it. I am going to put that on my piece just because it's of interest. You know, I was talking to my daughter-in-law the other day and I said my father used to get little jars and he'd collect screws and bolts and washers and little taps and all sorts of little plumbing things and electrical things and screws and nails, and he used to put them in jars. And when I took my kids or my sisters sister took her kids over there. He'd give them a jar of screws to count or to look at, and they'd be fascinated for hours. They'd be occupied, and I thought, my father was smart. He knew what little boys liked. Well, some boys, anyway. Okay, we'll put that on there. I am going to put some cheesecloth on because cheesecloth is a great element. I'm just going to pull this and twist it out of shape. Who doesn't remember wearing cheesecloth? Boy, did I have some clothes with a lot of cheesecloth in the day. When I was young. When I was young. I'm just going to pull some glue out. I'm going to put a little bit on this paper. It doesn't really matter that it's there because I'm throwing the paper away. So we need a little brush. And I'm just going to glue this down. Now I do have Mod Podge, a gloss over the top of these cards. They're very shiny. And see if we can put them down. Get the glue and try and put it down. And it's going to stick to me. This is probably the wrong brush, but it's a little one. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. I think we've got it down. A little bit over this side maybe. There we go. So I've got a bit of cheesecloth there. I'm going to put a bit more cheesecloth over here. Put a bit there. Just trying to pull it down as flat as I can get it. Now I did see a YouTuber do something similar, and I liked the idea of what she did. I thought it was very clever. Hers is better, of course, because she's a real artist. I just like to have a go at everything. And see how I go. Right, and I'm going to try and push that down somehow, because it is going to be hard for it to take. But once the glue sets, it will be fine. Won't take long for it to set either. Like that. It's sort of setting already. Just going to hold that down for a second till it takes. Okay. Oops, my finger got stuck, so it came up again. I'm just going to push it down again. And it's something like that. Now it will dry, so don't look at the way it looks now. But it will dry. Alright, how did we have it this way, didn't we? Okay, we'll move on because we know that will dry. Now, let's see if we can put one of these paper clips on. So it's going to be hard too, but we'll just put it there in the glue and it should be fine once it takes. There we go. Okay. Well, those elements are nice. I don't mind them. Right. We're going to have to let that set and dry. Let's try this one. Now I was going to put this on here. This big one on here. Right. There we go. So we just put that one on there. It looks like it's got a red diamond in the center, or red gemstone, whatever you want to call it. I think we'll put this on. Yeah, just an element on the edge here. It's just a trim, and we'll put it right there. Just wipe off the excess, so we'll just put that there as an extra little feature. And what else was I going to do? Oh, that was for that one, wasn't it? I'm still waiting for this one to dry. Paint off some of that excess glue. And I think we'll put what we've got left. We've got a few things left. Got some more wire here. I might actually put that wire on. Just put it on there. Right, let me just see if I can hold that down for a minute. Just going to hold the wire down for a second till it takes. Right, that's not too bad. And this corner, I think it's missing something, so how about if we just put some of this in. These are just bits of string that come off the cheesecloth. Now we can hold that down. Oops. Like that, and that doesn't look too bad. So there is our card with some elements on it. Now I'll show you this when it's all dry in the next video, okay? So don't worry just now about it, finishing it off, because we have finished it, but let's just see what else we can put on here. Not them. How about this? This is an odd thing here. I might just put it here. It's just an offcut from somewhere, don't know where. I just found it and I'll put it down. There. Right. I think that's finished. Got some more of these left. There we go. I'll just hold that down in the glue for a second. Oops. Fingers are getting stuck. Right. It's not too bad, that one either. There it is there. Okay, so we've got our two. Actually, I was going to put some of this down because I like it. It might look alright to set. I know it appears to have a lot of things on it, but it's good to look at, for the kids to look at it. And I'll cut that off when it dries. So I put a piece of that brick there as well. Okay, so I'll let them dry. I'll show you them in the next video. But I did want to show you, I have 2 cards left. And I was watching Noit Art this morning, and she was doing some mandalays. I think they're called mandalas or mandalays. I can't pronounce it. I'm shocking. And I had some leftover gel prints, as you can see. I had some jelly prints left over. And I might cut one here and put this on here. Just use this glue up. And I'm going to put some leftover gel print on one of these cards that I got left. Now I've already put gesso on it. It's white. I'm going to paint the back yet again, the black gesso. And let's just put this card on my cardboard. There we go. I'll just get my roller, roll that on so it takes to it the glue, and when it dries I'll trim it up. I've got this one left over. I'll leave for another day because I am just going to show you the, now what do you call it, mandalaya, something like that. Now she just cut these things out, and I'll show you how you do them, how she cut them out. She just did a leaf shape like that, come back the other way, go one way, and go the next, and she just cut these little pieces out. Just there. They're like little leaves or petals of a flower. There's another one. Okay. Right. So all I'm going to do is what she did, is to create some sort of pattern. This pattern's going to be a flower, I think. Yes, it is. Right. And all we're going to do is lay over petals upon petals. And that one's a bit big. I think I'll leave it for another one. Just watch your sizing when you cut them out. Okay. Right. What else? Now we just go back over it again and put some more red in the parts that are showing. Right, now where are we up to? Right, you can go again. Which I'm going to. She does it far better than I do. So I encourage you to go over to Noit Art, N-O-I-T Art, and have a look at her instructions. I'm doing mine very, very simply. She has a process, and now that is getting stuck. I'm going to have to lift it up, place it like that. Her process is she uses mulberry paper. What else does she use? She uses napkins. She uses all sorts of things. Now she said that you could use any paper, and that's why I'm using my leftover papers. She left her over papers, used hers, and it looks something like that. I wonder if that paint's going to dry. Not paint, glue. Okay, maybe I'm using the wrong glue. That might be the reason. Anyway, then she went over with another colour. There's a lot of glue on there, so I'm just going to see if it'll glue down. And she went in between all the others like that. Like that. Like that, as you can see. Oops. And then we're going to go over it again. Might just put a bit of glue on this one on the back. So she's put some more down. Put some more down and continue doing that. One there, last one. Put it there. Okay, it looks something like that. Hers is far better than mine. I haven't been concentrating. She used that beautiful mulberry paper, which is beautiful. And it's transparent too, so you can see through to the back when you glue it down. You know what? I think I used the wrong glue because I wasn't concentrating. So I may have to do that again to show you. Let me see. It's not too bad. How about some string for its branch, its stem, I should say. Well, how about some bric-a-brac? That might look nice. Just cut a piece off. There we go. Oops, my fingers are sticky. Alright, so put anything you want on it so that it looks okay. Might just cut some branches out. No, it's not branches, leaves. There's one, two. Picking up these little things at my age is hard. The hand-eye-hand coordination goes a little bit. Right, just there. Something like that. So I'm happy with that, but I could do better. Let's put some cheesecloth on it. Love cheesecloth. Or this might be muslin actually. Ah yes, wearing the old cheesecloth tops. It's all I ever wore in the 70s. Boots, hot pants, you name it. I had long hair, I had the latest haircuts. Perms were big in those days. Everyone had perms. Oh my gosh, what an era. The best era. Best years of my life. Okay, let's just put that there. Let's hold it down so that it takes. There we go. It's not too bad. Okay, you can add whatever elements you want to it. And there we go. Something like that. But I encourage you to go to her channel and have a good look, because she's a very clever artist. I really enjoy her. Anyway, until I see you next time, I'll show you those cards when they dry. And I showed you my housewarming present, and I'm going to do another one of them in future with the faux painting on it, a bit manly, because I have 3 sons, so I'm sure they'll get a kick out of the colour. Until I see you next time,